In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to pick up your acrylic beads correctly. Now, as a beginner, this can be quite difficult, mainly because if you use too much liquid, then your bead is going to be too runny. But if you don't use enough liquid, then your bead is going to be chalky and it's going to be hard to manipulate and move into place once you've placed it down onto your client's nail bed. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Sarah and I am the owner and founder of Hello Gorgeous Nail Systems and Training Academy, and I'm here just to show you lots of different tips and tricks within the nail industry. So that could be acrylic, gel, gel polish, e-filing, prep, you name it, we're going to be covering it on this channel. So if that's something you're interested in, please give us a follow and a like and a share. That would be great. So for now, I'm going to get on to the video. So first things first, we've got our acrylic powder that I'm using in the shade Rule Breaker, which is a nice bright pink for you to see in the videos. And we've got our acrylic monomer and our acrylic brush. Now, what you want to do is, first things first, you would submerge your brush into the monomer like that. What this does is it releases any air bubbles from the brush. What you don't want to do is not release the air bubbles, go into your powder, and then when you pick up your bead, it's got pockets in it. It would be quite hard to use. So we're releasing the bubbles. Once you've done that, you want to wipe your brush along the side of the dish. What you don't want to do is wipe it over and over again and take off too much liquid. You don't want your beads to be dry. You want them to be a nice consistency. Equally, you don't want to dip your brush in the liquid. Just lift it out and go straight in the powder. This will just leak all in your powder, make your powder a mess, and you probably won't even be able to pick up a bead because it'd be too wet. So once you've dipped it in, you're coming along the side, and then you want to dip the opposite side into the powder. So not the side you've wiped. So you don't want to wipe and go in. You want to wipe and almost twist it over and go in. So this is just so you get the right consistency. So let me show you how to pick the perfect beads. So you'd go in, you would wipe it along your side of your dish. You would then anchor it with your finger, and then as you're anchoring it, it naturally turns the brush over, and then you would bounce in your powder, or tap, pat, whatever you want to call it, and then that would pick up a perfect bead. So that can go straight onto your client's nails and you would be able to work with that quite easily. So give your powder a tap, always do that in between each bead. So we're going to wipe that off. What you don't want to do is you don't want to go into your liquid and then just stick your brush into the powder. As you can see, it's put powder on both sides of the brush. That is going to end up ruining your brush and they're going to end up all sticky. Brushes are expensive, so what you want to be looking after your brush at all time. Another thing you don't want to do is go into your liquid and drag it through the powder like that. It just picks up a really big messy blob of acrylic. As you can see there, it's still dry and chalky, so once you lay that down you will have trouble with that bead of acrylic. And last but not least, what you don't want to do is you don't want to do what we call the twiddling effect, where you go in with your brush and you just twiddle. As you can see, it picks up a massive, very horrible, messy bead. You're not going to be able to do anything with that. You will end up having to wipe it off, or it's going to end up drying on the end of your brush. So, one last go. I want to show you the correct way. So, air bubbles out, wipe, anchor, and then bounce. Now, depending on how many bounces you do, determines on the size of the bead that you pick up. So that was about 3, and that's 3 or 4, and that's a medium-sized bead. If you want a nice small bead, you'd go in and just give it a small couple of light taps, and that will pick up a small one. And then if you want to pick up a large bead, you're going in and you're just sort of pausing in between bounces, and then that will pick up a larger bead for you to be able to work with.